Good morning, everyone. Today is August the 27th. My name is MightyStream. I'm brought to you by Hope Through Navigation, and this is our Hood Recovery Services. I'm going to do your spiritual principle a day in a meditation for August 27th. If you need to reach me, please do so at recoveryofhope21@gmail.com. I'll look forward to hearing from you. Let's go ahead and get into that meditation. I typically would have it available right away, but for some reason I've been on other projects. So give me just a second to get that up for us, and then we can get right into it. Okay, I think I'm ready to go ahead and share the screen. Let's go ahead and take a look at that. August 27th, good topic. Discernment and autonomy. Autonomy, right? Not anonymity, but autonomy. As we mature in recovery, we learn to exercise sound judgment in how we make decisions, place our trust, and meet our responsibilities. Guiding principles, tradition 4, opening essay. Step work, living clean, and the passage of time bring the gift of maturity to NA members. We gather practical experiences we take on various roles in NA as home group members, sponsors, and trusted servants. Each allows us to grapple with the meaning and application of the traditions in real life contexts and become more skilled at discernment as we do. We grasp how each tradition works individually and discern how the tension between them creates balance. For example, tradition 4's assertion that each group should be autonomous makes it a favorite, especially when we want to validate any unconventional means of fulfilling our primary purpose. The tradition doesn't stop there unless we're trying to manipulate, and what follows precedes some pretty clear instructions about the limits to autonomy, except in matters affecting other groups or NA as a whole. The other 11 traditions point to the kinds of things that threaten to do just that. Being mature and responsible members of NA, or at least aspiring to be, we lean into discernment to sort out whether or not expressions of autonomy are in harmony with the principles of the other traditions. To make sound decisions, we invite a loving higher power to influence our group conscience, as tradition 2 suggests. NA groups and communities arrive at group conscience by different paths, but we share some common markers. We come together in unity, we honor and include multiple perspectives, and we create space for honest and open communication. When we listen for the will of a loving God, we are practicing discernment. It pays off as we find a spiritual way forward, enlist trustworthy members to serve, and meet our responsibilities to provide them with the resources and support they need to carry out the work. I will review my personal decision-making process and be more discerning about how I contribute to shaping my group's conscience. Sound judgment, my own and my group's, is a worthy goal. This is a beautiful reading. For some people that maybe don't do service work, I'm not sure if that's you or not. I hope by now you might be. But for some people who don't do service work, this isn't really like a tradition that they would necessarily encounter. It's not. But the point is that discernment and autonomy go together. The point, even if you're not, right, is that no man is an island. No group is an island. Every group is a part of the larger whole of Narcotics Anonymous. And even though our groups individually have the right to do what we want to do, to vote, there's some basics that we all try to adhere to. That our common welfare should come first. Personal anonymity depends on personal recovery, rather, depends on NA unity, like trusting the process is okay. But if everyone is not focused on the fact that we need to have some unity, then personal recovery starts to change for people, right? We make it harder sometimes for people to be able to come into our home group meeting and feel included, to feel welcome. So glad you made it here. There's some groups I just love when you walk through their doors, they have a greeter, right? They got a serenity keeper, like a small mini convention, right? They even have a list that when you come through the door, if you want to share, you need to put your name on the list because the meeting is just that big, right? That is going to be first come, first serve, right? Um, I think that you get the point, right? The point is that just like no man is an island, no group is an island. And so on the island of recovery, we need to be considerate about what we do and what we don't do and how that is impacting the fellowship as a whole. I saw something on social media the other day, and the lady was complaining about a male-dominated group, and it's become well known in the community as being an atmosphere that's not favorable for a certain type of person. And supposedly some people have been asked to leave. Now, we don't know the details. I don't, so I'm not going to expound much further. However, if the meeting is open, anyone that thinks they're an addict or is an addict is welcome. Sometimes what happens, sometimes even in those meetings, the group might have autonomously allow for parents to come to meetings with their children that are having addictive problems, husbands to attend meetings with loved ones, or vice versa, the wife go to meetings with her husband. Not that everyone would like that, but it's an open meeting, and the group has decided that you don't even have to necessarily think you have a problem with drugs to come. It's just open to the public. Come check it out. Some members will continue to go to that meeting, and some other members might decide, I'm not going to that meeting. It's open. I don't want to go to a meeting and find out my employer is there sitting with her 16-year-old son. And now all of a sudden she's looking at me half crazy, like, oh, so you're an addict, huh? Right? So some open meetings, it doesn't affect NA as a whole. It helps further our message. It helps people to have an opportunity to listen and learn and figure out if they're an addict. But for someone that is really tight knit with their anonymity, they may not want to make that meeting. And they have so many other meetings they can go to. Can we say that's devastating for them? No, they just need to find another meeting that they can go to that's closed. I'm hoping this makes sense for you. You know, I don't want to continue on too long with the topic, but I want you to practice now your discernment and autonomy. I want you to practice and understand how you contribute to your home group and how you discontribute to it. How are you causing the group not to be able to do what its primary purpose is? Or maybe someone else's. Is that something that needs to be looked at the next business meeting? And a lot of meetings nowadays aren't even having business meetings because of the pandemic. And now this thing with monkeypox. So, but we are surviving and we're still here. Even if you don't see us in person, we're still here. I want for today to be a beautiful day for you. I'm looking forward to, I got a lot of things on the plate today. So I'm looking forward to getting the ball moving for that and moving it forward so that the end game is that my team wins. That's the end game. I hope you have a beautiful day and I will be talking to you tomorrow.